starting. That's Krastin Stanchev. Let's get ready. Green flag in the air and we're underway. What a lightning start then from fourth position there from Chris Brajilov. Nowhere when Alex Stefanov, who gets swarmed on the long run down towards turn number one, the Resifilo chicane. So often we see dramas here from drivers who outbrake themselves into this corner, but it's Kevin Abey who's got to start. He wants one car's going to go straight on. That's Brajilov there, who's got no grip, remember, on those dry tyres, wet track, trying to avoid all of the dramas and just about managing it, but abandoning ship, having to take a slowdown penalty on the opening lap. Valentin Stamenkov has got a jump start here and as such has a black flag penalty to have to serve. So dramatic to say the least, and on the early start of this race, but they run onto the brakes here into the Della Roggia, hoping to give themselves some line. Mavrodiev then with Teodor Ivanov and then Alberto Campos, the middle of the pack now, trying to set their stall out. One car having to abandon ship. That's one that might even be Radlin Ivanov, and it was, who had to try and work a way around there. And lap one is the worst time to get a slowdown penalty, to abandon ship anywhere on lap. Christian Novev slow and struggling off the exit of Lesmo number 2. That brings Alex Stefanov through. Brajilov still holding his place, but now look out for Christian Novev, because that's Vladimir Mavrodiev who is there alongside as he looks to try and work through. Teodor Ivanov is there, Alberto Campos, Martin Yankov watching this one. Joris Erms currently in the transfer as they go up into Ascari then for the first time and work their way around. It looks like Mavrodiev's done okay through this section, and now it's about that run over to Parabolic. Yankov, who will look to try and stay close. There's Gabriel Ivanov making the move for the race lead against Kevin Abey. Abey fights on the brakes, but now around the outside, can the Swiss driver work on the exit? Really fighting between them. Every single piece of pace that is needed to go and get this run vital now as they run out through the Biasino, turn number 3. Fighting at about half a car length, 3/4 of a car length yet to clearance. Yet, but Gabriel Ivanov still holds his nose and holds his nerve and will have the inside now here for the all-important and critical Della Roggia chicane. Abey has to lift out of it there. Finally, Gabriel Ivanov takes the race lead. Ivanov still holds his nose and holds his nerve and will have the inside now here for the all-important and critical Della Roggia chicane. Abey has to lift out of it there. Finally, Gabriel Ivanov takes the race lead. And number 1, that brings Martin Yankov into position. Transfer currently is Aleix Casanova. You saw his name flash red there a little bit. That would have been an indication of an incident point being picked up. Remember, 17, and you find yourself at a drive-through penalty. Murtol Shaheen moves through back into the transfer as it all goes. Brajilov gets his 4th place back. Oh, fighting hard going through at Ascari, and that might bring Alex Stefanov into position to go and make this move, and the slipstream becomes important here in these F4 category machines. Looking around, which way are you going to go? Which way is it going to be? It's heavily defended on the inside. Moves late to the outside. Does Alex Stefanov trying to get that launch? It's very tough around the outside of Parabolica and not going to get that line. So each and every time we see this, we're going to get more and more of this style of racing. Abey now with the overspeed is going to come straight back here to try and get this to work, and defending that middle of the road line on the brakes, down right foot down to the floor, was trying to do everything he possibly could out there. We also note that drivers like Gonzalo Prieto are all the way back now in 23rd position. Straight across the chicane goes Gabriel Ivanov, then trying to defend it against Kevin Abey. He's got the slowdown to try and work with now, but he was fighting side by side in 11th, and Gabriel Ivanov's penalty served is going to come straight back up the hill here in towards Ascari once again, and gets the crossover and makes it happen. But look at the way that Christian Novev is hunting them down. It was a 6-second gap, and because they're battling, it's been halved to 3 seconds. Remember, Novev is one of those drivers who started the race on a dry tyre. We are almost at the halfway stage stage, and with a dry line forming here on the certain parts of this circuit, you're starting to worry between them, millimetres apart, as Gabriel Ivanov has to let it go, and Kevin Abey overshoots at Parabolica, up and under, pick thine pocket here at the Temple, and ultimately Kevin Abey loses out then on that position, but will move right back into tow, and moving about, trying to find an angle, going off the racing surface to try and find that inside line, and manages it then on Gabriel Ivanov, who will now have to go the long way around at the Rettifilo to make this work. The way that they're scrapping straight on again is going to go Gabriel Ivanov. He'll have to serve the penalty again, and this time it will be an easy way through for Kevin Abey, who will move through upside down almost there for Murto Shaheen as he runs in towards the opening section. Alberto Campos had a bird's eye view of that as they were going through the first section. He outbroke himself, and he has completely taken Teodor Ivanov here, who was leading Pro-Am, out of position. He outbreaks himself, he pitches it into a spin, trying to keep it out of trouble, and a passenger there goes Teodor Ivanov, and thankfully the halo going into full effect there in through the opening corner there as the wheel touched down on Ivaylo Dimitrov, trying to get by Dimitar Palauzov for position for the AM category lead. You can see the scraping of the front nose there for Dimitar Palauzov. Now that is very interesting out there. It indicates there has been some front-on contact in some way, shape or form, and now side by side, can Ivaylo pick it up? You bet he can, because that's straight off for Dimitar Palauzov, and he has to go again, scampering across here, trying to keep the car pointed in a straight. Gabriel Ivanov holds, and Joris Ooms now waking up to this battle for Pro-Am. Vladimir Mavrodiev then down the inside, and that is P7 for Mavrodiev to take. So that's another good pass being made into the Rettifilo with 5 minutes now to go. A lot of water coming up there behind as they all look to try and find a lane on the tyre. Milen Milchev in 12th place, seeing Gonzalo Prieto through. That's for 11th, and Alex Plamanov is down the inside and gets it done on Nikolai Mikov for position, which puts now Mikov down to 16th, and 15th now for Alex Plamanov in the Technicolor Dreamcoat car, as it will now be christened for time immemorial at this point. So every time you look around at this race, there is still something to race for, and Prieto, and the move gets made. Prieto up into the top 10. What a recovery drive this is turning into. Too deep on the brakes by Gabriel Ivanov. Kevin Abey goes through, but look at Vrajilov. That gap now is down to under 2 seconds now. Look at Chris Vrajilov drive on the dries. He's got temperature in his tyres, and he's from Nikolai Mikov, who's had to abandon the first corner and go straight on into the gravel there on the outside, serve the slow down penalty and continue on. But there is one Mr. Gabriel Ivanov, who has not relinquished the back of Kevin Abey at any point being overtaken, and again now is going to pull to the outside on the Maffei racing car. Is this going to be enough to make this move? You can see looking over then as they go underneath the bridge, there's a small bump there that affects certain cars, not so much here in these F4s, but around the outside, Gabriel Ivanov gets his move, but again it brings Chris Vrajilov into play, looking for second. At Parabolica into second, starting the final lap. Only he and Yankov have been the two drivers who have stayed top 10 at all 4 rounds so far this season. Now looking at a 5th. Ivanov having to go defensive here as Kevin Abey thinks about it, throw it down deep on the brakes. Everyone trying to find a way through. Abey's got a great launch through the mid part, but can't make anything of that platform and has to stay in line and wait some more. But still, you think about who's making moves where. Gonzalo Prieto, is now qualifying. Christian Novev, it was a team decision with him and Chris Vrajilov out there. But what a smile he'll have through Parabolica. The Temple of Speed, they bow down to him in race 5 of the season. Christian Novev with a dominant win here in a wet to dry race here at Monza. Vrajilov, his teammate on the dry tyres, will take second, but it's not done for third place because Kevin Abey is in a drag race here with Gabriel Ivanov. Ivanov's got the car length and will take the final spot on the podium. Watch out on Martin Yankov because Gonzalo Prieto is going to have a massive turn of speed off the exit and he'll get the launch down the inside. Oh my goodness me, it's as if he's seen a ghost. 4.5 seconds on the final lap of race 5. Lights on. Let's get ready for round 6 of the season. Lights are out and we're underway. It's an absolutely awful start there for Joris Holmes, who I think might have a little bit of the wet side of the circuit there. On the right-hand side, he is absolutely swarmed as he goes towards turn number 1. Mavrodiev will challenge Tom Cordy then for position. They hit the brakes and try and give some room. Oh my goodness, Gonzalo Prieto. One car's had to go straight off and along. That's Mavrodiev. But my goodness, Gonzalo Prieto, how on earth did he get that slowed up? That was looking like an accident 5 ways from Sunday into the opening corner, and somehow he threads the gap 3 wide on the brake and gets himself through. Just, and I mean just, the chain reaction was enough. But now, here comes the chance for Martin Yankov to go straight back into the De La Rogia. He loses out. Spinners each and every way. Leader goes around. Tom Cordy spun it. Prieto leads. But there was also a spin for one of the 2 drivers. I couldn't tell if it was Radulov or Novev. And the answer is, I believe, that is going to be Christian Novev, who finds himself a little bit further down than necessary. It was a big spin for Chris Radulov, who drops back. So Radulov was the one who got the spin, and all of a sudden this field is completely changed. It's Prieto now who leads this one after half a lap here, and he knows he's got a big group of drivers with him. Yankov, Abey, Alex Stefanov, Alberto Campos up into 5th from 11th on the grid. Through Ascari they go. There are still wet patches out there on the track, so they will be on a line trying to avoid those dramas, and it looks like trouble's back there for the likes of those. Dimitrov, I think, is one of them in trouble, and Valentin Stamenkov, Ivaylo Dimitrov, and the category leader with a big issue going into Ascari. And I think as he hit the brakes, did he come across the back wheel of someone? Yes, he's tiptoed over the front wheel of Valentin Stamenkov, and that's why those 2 have dropped way back in terms of the field. But a lap already in the books as Aleix Casanova hits pit lane and he doesn't start. And already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different drivers. Chris Radulov with the black and orange mechanical flag, so he will not continue his streak of top 10 finishes here today. And straight on into turn 1. There is that Christian Novev there potentially. Yes, it was, who found himself with dramas and as such had to go straight on the first chicane out there. But the focus around Monza here. Doesn't matter if it's been wet or dry. Right into the water, trying to get it slowed down. Has he got enough grip to get it slowed up? Oh, you bet. What a fantastic bit of braking by Gabriel Ivanov, which has become so paramount around here, and more so in the dry than it is in the wet. Lovely switch back to the inside by Alex Stefanov here to try and get by, really fighting tyre to tyre. Kevin Abey's not giving this one up, and Abey will have the train to work with. If Yankov's clever, they'll move over to the right, and they do. So they fight for the toe on the back. It's like watching 2 children bicker to say it's my turn to play jump rope, and as such, position is Kevin Abey's, but just for now, Martin Yankov almost tangles tyre, gets himself a wiggle as he hits the brakes. Can he get it slowed down? Yes. Is it going to cost him a place to Alex Stefanov, who goes around the outside of Abey? Maybe. But now, here comes the look as they now run up towards the Biasino once again. Yankov, I think, might just yield this one here to his own teammate, and Alex Stefanov will move up to 3rd. A scary moment. Nikolai Mikov now out of the race. Stanchev out. Flaminov, Ivanov, Minev, and Stamenkov are all down in the pits. 3 wide it is now behind, and that is earned through on Novev, through on Dimitrov, making moves there. So everyone figuring out where to go and make their passes, and wonderfully done. Martin up into 3rd position, because that's a mistake from Gabriel Ivanov, who was leading this field, and now he fights back and he gives a door. He gives himself an elbow over to Martin by side for the race lead. They go once again. Prieto, very much in the case of I'll let Alex Stefanov go, because we've got to work together to keep this group behind, which is really starting to build up again now, because Ivanov, gravel will still have puddles in it, and pit entry is still going to be soaked as you go through because no cars run through it. Radl and Ivanov right now fighting hard with Murtol Shaheen here, and Shaheen I think is going to have to give this one up, and does. Great work by Radlen. Then Porton and Brajilov avoid the pit lane again. So will this now be a black flag penalty that served, or did he get it on lap 2? I think he may have got it on lap 2. And now, we'll look out. Which way do you want to go? Left or right? Left or right? Left or right? As they go in towards the opening section. Campos into the side of Brajilov, who maybe should have hit pits earlier. Everyone has to scramble out of the way. There's another spinner down at the first corner now. It's Dimitar Palauzov who is there. That will now promote Ricardo up. Aleix Casanova now to build some points, looking around at those drivers who struggled, like Teddy Ivanov here today. This could be massive, but now on the brakes into that Parabolica corner. It is Novev who beats out Campos. Milchev beats out Joris Urms, and Kevin Abey are looking to eye up a pass here and get by on Gonzalo Prieto. This would be for second as Gabriel Ivanov forced the issue 3 wide. No, he's going to bump draft him. He's going to bump draft him along the straight into the opening corner to get both of them through into second and third. Oh, how smart by Gabriel Ivanov, using the old NASCAR tactics to try and get this move at just over halfway in this race. Gabriel Ivanov switching the beams, looking to the inside on Kevin Abey, and Abey again. Hose! Bye-bye! Round goes Gabriel Ivanov, and he finds himself pointing the wrong way for the second time at the De La Rogier. It's his bogey corner on the lap, and he's now behind at the moment with Chris Vrajilov in trouble. He's also got to keep note of Christian Novev in the championship fight. Outside line looking, Gonzalo Prieto sweeping around, takes that place, gets a big kick going through the middle of the corner, and now look out behind. Oh, Christian Novev everywhere he looks. The Lemon Squad car there of Alberto Cato now falls behind, but Alex Stefanov is starting to build that margin, 1.3. It now becomes at the front of the field, and Milchev really backing out, because look at Gabriel Ivanov trying to throw it down the inside. There's a small tap between them, and Ivanov nibbling away at the tyre there. That Pirelli of Christian Novev having a way of trying to say, I would quite like that one, and not quite managing it there, but through the Biasino they go once again, heading towards the De La Rogier chicane here, which comes along next over to the right hand side, hoping there's going to be a way, but again patience will prevail for the best out there. And a corner is just looking here at how they go. Look at the run off the exit. Gabriel Ivanov opening up the second of the two Lesmo corners, and once more it does not work. Drive off the exit. Look at Milan Milchev go. He gets a great run. And now it's a case of, well, if it's not one, it's the other. Right now as they battle, rain lights are still mandatorily on at the moment because there is still wet conditions out there underfoot. It's not declared dry yet, so they still have to have the rain light flashing on the back. It's not an indicator of any form of energy Grand Prix series, so that certainly hurts quite a bit. Now under 4 minutes, or heading towards 4 minutes to go, and they might fan out 3 wide here to try and get this to work. They do. Milchev then trying to work with Novev, with Ivanov here. They all work together on the brakes. Oh, Milchev was way early on that. Novev in second. Gabriel Ivanov gets it done and moves into 5th, but keep an eye on the front because Alex Stefanov trying to make it work. Right side of screen, and if he can go around the outside, that's certainly going to pay off, but I'm sure Gabriel Ivanov's going to be more aggressive into the turn, and does so, gets the drive that's needed. Might burn a little bit more of Pirelli rubber, but by doing so he holds the place, but will have to defend again now on the front stretch, and again it's going to bring Milan Milchev in with a rate of overspeed to think, well, where do I go? And once more he says outside it's going to have to be. Look at that, next to no room as they head down towards the opening corners. Again, Milchev's the one that breaks out first. Christian Novev this time wins the run into the brakes and now gets a little bit caught up, but no direct challengers to his championship then is with him. Here's the fight with some who are, as Gabriel Ivanov throws it down in. Novev then still holds against Milchev. Traffic of Kenny Campos to try and get by for the right corner. Then going through the second of the two Lesmo corners, the Saraglio rise that comes up to Ascari. It's going to be massive between them. Kevin Abey, which way do you want to go? Is it left or it's right? It will have to be the road, hard travelled, the long way around, heading to Ascari. It's held on the inside by Alex Stefanov, who runs deep, and around the outside of the second part, through the water, goes Kevin Abey. Oh, there's contact. Round goes Alex Stefanov. Gonzalo Prieto is going to go straight through. He sights his way on by. Oh, that's the mark of a champion. Knowing he couldn't pick up the victory, knowing he'd leave these top two to battle up against each other, he sneaks away through. And now a Parabolica. He's just a corner away. And Kevin Abey will feel red in the face right now, as red as the Swiss flag he races under, because it is Gonzalo Prieto who comes to the line and wins in race 6 of the season. Oh my goodness, that is a heist, an absolute heist. Novev will come home in 5th. It's Yankov in 4th. A battle between teammates. Gabriel Ivanov will best out Milan Milchev over the line. But oh my goodness me, that just shows you pressure to give himself that run, to give himself the look to go on through. Battles on the brakes, doesn't quite manage it then, tries to go up and under, and now they're fighting for that one piece of real estate then, the apex they go through. There's initially contact as they went through the corner, and there, over the anti-cut curb, that opens up the contact then between him and Alex Stefanov, and Stefanov at that point, either he's got